Hey guys, what's up? Hope you are all good. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the Apple Watch SE 2020 and the Amazfit GTS3. Let's get straight into it right now. So these two smartwatches look very similar, however they are quite different. One of them is a lot more expensive, surprise, the Apple Watch, and the other doesn't have as many advanced features, but the question is, do you really need them? Maybe you don't. Let's find out. Let's go straight into the specs of these smartwatches, then I'll go into what they're like to use on a day-to-day basis. Let's start off by looking at the specs of the Amazfit GTS3. The GTS3 features a 1.75-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 390 by 450 pixels. Pixel density is 341 ppi. The dimensions of the watch is 42mm by 36.8mm by 8mm, and it weighs 24.4 grams. It is water resistant up to 5 meters. For sensors, it features Amazfit's third generation BioTracker biometric sensor, which can monitor your blood oxygen and heart rate. It also features an accelerometer, a gyroscope, a geomagnetic sensor, barometric sensor, an ambient light sensor, and features internal GPS. According to the specs sheet on Amazfit's website, this also features a temperature sensor. However, there is no way to use it, or I don't know if that's a mistake. I know one of their other smartwatches does. However, I have no access to any temperature controls on here, so who knows, maybe it's going to be updated or added in the future. There's up to 120 sports tracking modes built into the watch. It features a microphone but no speaker, so you can't make calls on the watch, you can't use the watch as an external phone, but it does have a voice assistant built into the watch, and it also has access to Amazon Alexa if you link it to that service. There is no app store within the watch itself. Pretty much what you get on the watch is what you're going to have forever. When linked up to the app that controls the watch, it's called Zepp, you can download a few apps as well that will expand some functionality, but there's literally like 10 and they don't really do that much. So there are a lot of built-in apps within the watch. It is quite diverse and there is quite a lot of functionality there. Battery will last you about 12 days on a full charge, which is quite a lot. However, I activate the 24-hour heart rate monitoring, and I also have a always-on display, so my battery life probably is more between like 8 and 9 days, but even so, I think that's great for what the watch can do. And of course, you can use this with both Android and Apple phones. Okay, let's move on to the Apple Watch SE, the 2020 version. The Apple Watch SE comes in two sizes, either 44mm or 40mm. I have the slightly smaller version, which I think is probably the more popular one as it's a bit cheaper. That features a resolution of 324 by 394 pixels and features a retina OLED display with a very, very bright screen of 1000 nits of brightness. The case is made from 100% recycled aluminium and is very durable and feels very premium. Features Apple's second generation optical heart sensor, an accelerometer, a gyroscope, ambient light sensor. It's NFC capable. It features a speaker and a microphone. It's water resistant up to 50 meters. Features an always-on altimeter as well as a compass and internal GPS. You can have the option of having a Wi-Fi only version or being able to connect to LTE data, so this can be used as a fully external phone that's on your wrist. You can make calls, you can text, etc. Even with the Wi-Fi version, as long as it's connected to your phone, you'll be able to send messages and use several different apps online like WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, that kind of stuff using the Apple Watch. It also features a massive app store. That's basically the difference between these two. The biggest difference, I would say, is that you can expand the functionality of the Apple Watch SE quite a lot. There are a lot of apps available. Some of them, I would say, a bit gimmicky. I don't really need to play ping pong on my watch. I mean, it's just not something I need to do. But there are some useful ones like Uber, Spotify. There's lots of fitness app functionality. The Apple Watch SE is by far the better option. However, if we just look at those technical specifications, I don't think there's really that much difference between them. The screen is not that much different. I can't really tell the difference when you just select the same brightness of both screens. I don't really notice that much difference. The design of the two watches is again strikingly similar. Amazfit definitely continues to emulate Apple somewhat in the design of this watch. If we just look at the specs of both of these watches, then the Amazfit actually comes out on top when you just look at the screen, the technology, the size. It's got a larger screen, which I think is better overall. I think it's a good size to display more information and more data. Also, the resolution is higher, as well as the pixel density. So either don't really see a difference between the two, or even in fact, the Amazfit is slightly higher resolution. But considering the price of both of these watches, that is quite an accomplishment, I think. Of course, they also have a round version, the GTR3, which is basically exactly the same apart from it's round, not square. Both now feature this crown design, this spinning little wheel on the side, which allows you to scroll through menus, select things, and it's very, very easy to use. It's actually much better to use than the touchscreen. I feel it makes going through those menus a lot simpler and a lot more efficient. Both of them work pretty much the same. I would say the Apple one feels a little bit, I guess, more ergonomic. It definitely feels more premium. Again, in fact, the whole watch feels more premium. The materials look and feel better. But considering the price difference between the two, the Amazfit GTS3 still looks great. I actually prefer the color of the GTS3, this kind of pinkish, goldish color. They're also virtually the same size and thickness. You're gonna not really notice either of these watches when wearing them all day. I have skinny wrists, quite thin wrists, and I don't notice them. I struggle with larger watches because it really does interfere, especially if I'm wearing a shirt or a jumper. But these two are very, very thin. They are super, super comfortable, and they work really well. And you can wear them all day and all night, and they won't disturb you. When it comes to sensors and tracking, which is, let's face it, the main reason most people have a smartwatch. I mean, well, it's the main reason I have one. I work out a lot, I do a lot of fitness, and I like to track that. I like to track health and stuff like that. And to be fair, the difference between these two, I don't think is... In fact, I think the cheaper Amazfit GTS3 I think beats Apple in terms of sensor functionality and in fact the amount of sensors that it has. Amazfit GTS3 features a heart rate sensor and a blood oxygen sensor, so it can detect your SpO2 levels. And it can track pretty much every health metric that you are going to want to track. I find it to be pretty accurate. I've done some workouts while wearing the GTS3. I'll admit that when I first got it, it didn't work that well, but there has been an update. I mean, it was a known bug. They updated it, and now the tracking seems to work pretty well. I can see my heart rate going up. The Apple Watch SE is also a great little device for tracking heart rate and health. Again, it's super accurate. I've worn this many times when working out. The one thing it does do better than the Amazfit is that the Apple Watch SE can automatically detect when you're working out. It doesn't even have to be told. But it doesn't feature the SpO2 tracker, so that is a whole sensor that's missing. It's debatable how useful that specific sensor is. A lot of people, including myself, don't particularly find that a useful metric. So yeah, if you were looking for something, a watch that was mostly designed, or you're mostly going to use it to track your everyday activities, your health and fitness, really there is not much difference between the two, despite quite big difference in price. Where the difference does become more apparent is when you look at the kind of other details that you may not think of. For example, the inclusion of both a speaker and a microphone means this can be used, the Apple Watch can be used as a external phone, and they've really designed the keyboards and the functionality, the menu system really well. You can actually type messages on this, and it's not that difficult. You also have access to so many different notifications like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and you can reply to those messages straight away. On the Amazfit, you do have notifications. It will inform you when you have a message and what it says. However, there is no way to reply to those messages. You have to go to your phone. It would be great if in the next generation, been asking for this for a while, if there were just some, I don't know, automatic replies, just like yes, no, maybe, just some basic replies that you could just quickly send off using the watch. But alas, that is not possible right now. So that's what it comes down to basically, guys, is the functionality beyond health and fitness tracking. The Apple Watch has a lot. It has a lot of things that you can interact with, a lot of apps that you would never find on the Amazfit. Of course, this is the cheaper version of Apple smartwatch. You can buy the full version, the Apple Watch Series 7, I believe, and it has more fitness tracking and functionality. Focusing on this cheaper version because we're comparing it to a kind of mid-range cheaper smartwatch too. Some other things that the Apple Watch admittedly does have that the Amazfit doesn't, which I do actually find super useful, is NFC. You can use Apple Pay. That is super useful for obviously paying for things, and it just means you don't have to whip your wallet or your phone out to make transactions. It also has 32 gigabytes of internal memory, so if you wanted to store stuff on here, you could. You can download music, podcasts, and stuff like that, and just have them stored on the watch, ready to go. That's not possible with the GTS3. So there we have it, guys. I think that's pretty much it. I did a similar comparison last year between the last generation of the Amazfit and the Apple Watch SE, and I mean, the findings were pretty much similar. If you wanted a full functionality smartwatch with being able to download every app and every aspect of your life could be on the watch, from podcasts, music, to-do lists, fitness, work, personal training, workouts, Uber, Spotify, blah, 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 everything that you might find on a phone. If you want that on your wrist, then there is no alternative other than the Apple Watch SE. It's an amazing piece of kit, but you know what? I don't need most of those things. What I need is something that looks good, that works well, that can track my health and fitness and do some other daily tasks and stuff like, you know, controlling my music and monitoring the sleep. The Amazfit can do all of those things, and that's all I need. But you know what? The final straw for me, the final nail in the coffin for the Apple Watch for me is and remains the battery life. About a day and a half I get from a full charge of the Apple Watch. 8 or 9 days I get with the Amazfit. If the Apple Watch lasted for 5 days, I would probably have that on my wrist all the time. However, it doesn't, so I stick with the Amazfit GTS3. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. What do you think between the Apple Watch SE and the Amazfit GTS3? I've had these watches for quite a while. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will be back with some more videos soon with some more smartwatches and probably some smartphones. So until then, I'll see you around. Bye.